Think you can get away with not having a business checking account as a small business owner? Think maybe it's nice to have, but it's optional, or maybe it's just too much work. Well, think again. And stay tuned, because I'm going to tell you not only why you should have a separate business checking account for your business, but why you may actually need a separate business checking account for your business. Hi everyone, I'm attorney Aiden Durham with 180 Law Co. in Colorado. Welcome back to All Up in Your Business. Before we get into why you absolutely need a business checking account for your business, please do be sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Click that little bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video. And of course, check the description for links to additional information and resources. I also want to give a huge thank you to our very special partners for this episode, our friends over at Relay. Relay is a no-fee online business banking and money management platform designed to help small businesses be crystal clear on what they're earning, spending, and saving. As a small business owner, you can do so much with Relay. You can organize your expenses and cash reserves with up to 20 separate checking accounts. You can issue up to 50 physical or virtual MasterCard debit cards for yourself or your team. Send and receive ACH transfers, checks, and wires. You can give your team members, financial advisors, accountants, CPAs, secure role-based access to your accounts and get personalized customer support over phone or email. Now, you guys, hold on to your butts, because I am coming in hot with a killer offer from Relay for my All Up in Your Business fam. If you use my affiliate link that you can find down in the description, you will get 50 bucks. That's right, 50 bucks credited to your new account with Relay. Just use that affiliate link in the description, open and fund a new account, and boom, that 50 bucks is yours. And keep watching, because I'm going to tell you about all the super cool things that you can do with your new Relay business checking account. All right, so first, let's talk about why you might want or need a separate business checking account for your small business. And these things are going to apply whether you're a sole proprietor, LLC, regardless of the type of business or entity that you're operating. First off, having a separate business checking account is going to help immensely with simplifying taxes. In fact, the IRS even recommends that you have a separate account for your business. So as a self-employed person, unlike if you're an employee working for somebody else or another company, we're not having taxes withheld from our paychecks. So we have to make quarterly estimated tax payments to the IRS. And let me tell you, calculating your tax payments, your quarterly estimated payments, are going to be a huge pain if you have all of your business income and expenses in the same account as your personal money. You'll have to go through, identify what's a personal transaction versus a business transaction. Was this money, this check, was that something was that a birthday gift from grandma, or was that something that a client or a customer paid to me? This money that I spent at Office Depot, was that for office supplies for the business, or was this something for my own personal use? None of that mess. Don't even bother with having to do that. Just have a separate business checking account, and you know everything that came in and went out is business related. And you're really going to be thanking yourself if the IRS ever wants to do an audit of your business. Because if all of your business transactions are in your own personal account, the IRS is going to be looking at those business transactions, but they're also going to probably be seeing a lot of those personal transactions too. So now you've got this increased scrutiny from the IRS at what you're doing with your own personal money too. And why put yourself at added risk or exposure if you don't have to? It's also going to help just generally with bookkeeping and accounting purposes. Again, you're not going to have to filter through transactions, figure out what was business, what was personal. We know everything business is in this account or these business accounts. and everything personal is in my own personal account. Having a separate business checking account is also going to help with credibility and professionalism for your business. I saw a comment on one of my other videos, someone asking something along the lines of, why can't I just have a separate personal account? Not necessarily a business account. Why can't I just have a separate personal account that I use for business stuff? Well, let's think about that. If you need someone to write out a check to your business, or if you're doing online payments, charging clients or something, they're gonna have to write out the check to whoever owns the account. And if it's your personal account, they're writing that out to you, or the charge on their bank statement will say your name rather than your business name. If I were hiring someone and they were a business and I was making the check out to them personally, that would make me feel a little uncomfortable. I don't know that I would like that so much. It just makes you look like you're a legitimate business because you have an actual business checking account that people can make payments to. A separate business checking account is also going to help with the growth of your business in the long run. If you hire employees, have to deal with payroll taxes, you're going to want all of that to come out of a business checking account. And if you set up that account from the beginning, it's going to be so much easier than trying to later on get this established, because now we have employees and we have to deal with all this extra stuff. Don't wait, just do it now. You kind of need it and you're going to want it in the beginning anyway, so just do it now. And having that separate account for your business is going to help with getting credit or loans or outside funding for your business as well. And the last reason, not only that you should have a business checking account for your business, but the reason you actually absolutely need it is for liability purposes if you're operating as an LLC or a corporation or any kind of separate legal entity. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about this before, unless this is your first time here, in which case you'll probably hear me talk about this a lot more in the future. But the whole purpose of having an LLC is liability protection, so that what happens to the business doesn't happen to you. Your personal assets are protected, your personal money is protected, and the way we get that protection, aside from just setting up the LLC, that is not good enough. We have to keep things separate because the LLC is a separate legal entity. It's a separate being from us. And so we cannot just keep everything in one account or commingle our assets or our funds of the business and our own personal stuff. If you're concerned about your personal liability, or if you want to actually be able to take advantage of that liability protection that you get with an LLC, then having a separate account for your business is an absolute must. And that's another reason why you shouldn't just have a separate personal account that you use for your business. Again, separating assets. What belongs to the company belongs to the company. What belongs to you belongs to you. So if you, as an individual, are the owner of this account, which you would be if it was in a personal account, then you are now the owner of what should be the business's account. It should not be you owning that account. It should be the LLC, the corporation. Your company should be the name on the account. Of course, you as the member or manager are an authorized signer. You'll have all the access that you need, but it's not your account to have. It's the business's account. So we've got that part out of the way, I hope. Now that we know not only why we should, but really need separate accounts, a separate business checking account, what are some things that you should be looking for when you're opening a checking account for your business? What do we want to avoid? What are some great things that we can get out of this? First, of course, we want to talk about fees. A lot of banks are going to charge monthly fees or require some kind of minimum balance in order to get those fees waived. If at all possible, we want to avoid that. We also want to know how convenient, how easy is it for me to access my account, get support regarding my account. We also want to look for something that's going to help us stay organized, keep things in track. Most traditional business banking options are going to have, you're going to have one kind of multi-purpose account that you use for everything. Maybe you'll have a few different accounts, like a savings account or a tax account, something where you put money away for certain purposes. But again, those are typically going to come with fees, because we've got more accounts equals more fees. This creates a headache when we're trying to keep track of expenses, income, saving for large expenditures, saving for taxes, putting money away for payroll, and knowing exactly what's happening with your business's finances. Sometimes we get kind of unclear or vague data on what's happening in our account. You see a transaction on your statement and it's not obvious what that is. What was that for? Was this a fraudulent charge or something, or was this actually I actually spent money on? Often it's difficult to see from your bank statements or even your transactions online what was this thing exactly. Collaborating with others regarding your accounts can sometimes be kind of a bit of a pain as well. If you're working with a bookkeeper, or if you have other people involved in your business, or an accountant or a CPA who's helping, are you going to have to be sharing your passwords with all these people, giving them full unfettered access to your accounts? You might have to do that. And I don't want to do that. I don't want people to just have complete access to my business accounts. That's crazy. And when it comes to accounts payable, like paying bills for your business, a lot of traditional banking options are just not as convenient or easy as they should be. Usually we can only, pay one bill at a time online if we're using online bill pay. And there's usually no function or no way to set up any kind of approval system or review system for when is this bill approved, when can this be paid. So we might use a separate third-party tool to keep track of accounts payable, and of course that then increases our fees, our expenses, adds more things that we're spending money on. And all of that is exactly why I think Relay is such a fantastic option for small businesses. First off, no fees. No monthly fees, no minimum account requirements, and no overdraft fees. Relay gives you digital-first business banking and support. You can open your account, issue debit cards, send and receive payments all online. No need to go into an actual bank. And Relay's friendly and knowledgeable customer support team is available by email and chat when you need them. Hands down, my favorite feature that you get from Relay is the ability to set up to 20 separate checking accounts. Not just like separate envelopes that you might see with other online platforms or online banking options, to up to 20 actual separate checking accounts from Relay. And again, all no fee and all with the same benefits and functions that you would still get from Relay. So you can have one account for your income, where all the money goes into, one account for your expenses, or separate accounts for different types of expenses. You can have an account to save for taxes. You can have an account to save for growth. You can have an account to save for payroll. You can have really accounts for anything, up to 20 separate accounts. Relay gives you leveled up financial acuity. Relay's money management and account data features gives you so much more insight into what's happening in your business. And they offer best-in-class software integrations, so you can have your accounts talking to your separate bookkeeping or accounting programs. And Relay has created business banking built for teams. You can issue separate MasterCard debit cards to any of your team members. You can set spending limits for each of those cards and see detailed data for what the transactions are from each team member who has their own separate card. Team members can also get their own role-based access to your Relay accounts. And finally, Relay is really going to help you with streamlining your bookkeeping and outside access from bookkeepers, accountants, CPAs, financial advisors by setting up those special role-based logins, so you don't have to share your login information. You don't have to worry if you're giving too much access to somebody else. You can provide secure role-based access to your accounts for purposes of paying bills, downloading transactions, managing money or the cards, and accessing banking data and statements. I'm telling you guys, literally the only reason I don't use Relay myself is because as a lawyer, if we take retainer advanced payments, we have to have these special lawyer trust accounts that like the state kind of keeps an eye on, because it's not really our money until we've actually earned it. We have to keep our client funds in separate trust accounts. And these trust accounts are usually only available through bigger banks and credit unions and stuff. And so and I like to have my normal accounts kind of connected to my trust account so I can easily move money back and forth. If it wasn't for that, I would absolutely be using Relay myself, if for nothing else, just for those 20 separate actual accounts, being able to compartmentalize and put money aside for whatever you need it. But I'll tell you, as soon as I hear that Relay has started offering IOLTA or trust accounts, making those available, I will be there in a heartbeat. And so now we know why you should have a separate business checking account, why you absolutely need a separate business checking account, and why Relay is probably the very best option that you can get out of your business checking account. And remember, you can get $50 credited into your new account through Relay if you use my affiliate link down in the description. And of course, I will love you for it. That's all for this episode, folks. If you learned a thing or two, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and hit that little bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video. And again, don't forget to check the description for links to additional information and resources, including that link to get $50 credited into your new account through Relay. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Aiden Durham, and I'll see you next time.